What's going on, you guys? AJ Tucker here with AJ Self Defense, and I'm gonna go off the cuff today, man. I just saw these stories, so I didn't really have a chance to make notes or anything. But it's something that I've been talking about, something that I've noticed, and it's an issue. And as I start making these videos, my cats are rolling up in the video, so I want to give them a big shout out because they always want a shout out. But anyway, man, I want to talk about the topic of trans predator. Now, I got this term from a YouTuber named Blair White. And she is transsexual, but the thing is, she always talks about the topic of the trans predator versus just a regular transgender person, because she's just trying to live her life. But then there's also people out there that's taking advantage of being a trans, and it's bringing on the stereotype, which brings just people who are trying to live their everyday lives more trouble. So there's two cases that I want to talk about today. One case recently happened. There was a female in prison and she was impregnated. She's pregnant now because they allowed a transgender woman who still has male parts to go into the prison instead of being in an all men's prison. And she took advantage. She took full advantage of that situation. Now I need to go deeper into the story to see if it was consensual, to see if it was rape, but any sexual contact in a prison is considered rape. So that's how it goes, man. But the thing is, it should never have occurred anyway. And that's what I want to talk about, man. A few weeks ago, there was a huge case, not a case, but it happened at the Wee Spa, where there was a transgender woman who still has male parts, and she was in the shower, she was in the jacuzzi, and she was naked. And like with a slightly erect penis, showing herself. And it was a 9-year-old girl and a 14-year-old girl, and they were traumatized. Just a big old crazy situation, man. And I definitely understand and support, people trying to find their way. I support people trying to find their way, because I don't understand it. I've never had to live it. I've never had that issue to where, hey, I'm born a man, I'm a man, but I've never had that issue where I'm born a man, but I'm actually a woman. Like, I can't even comprehend. So I'm just gonna have to take their word for it. But whenever I come in whenever it's talking about personal safety and somebody is taking advantage of the situation. And that's what I want to talk about today. So I don't think there should be any way where you let a transgender woman still has male parts into a female prison, especially if they have any kind of history of violence or anything of that nature. And there's nobody right now protecting the female prisoners from scenarios like these, because everybody is so scared. When it comes to this topic, people just automatically back off, or we as a nation automatically back off. I'm not saying everybody, I'm talking about when it comes to the laws, we back way off. We overdo it. And I understand, trying to make changes for people, trying to do the right thing by people. But if you go too far, then you're gonna screw other people over just to help somebody else out. And some people will take full advantage of that situation. Okay. Another person I want to talk about is Chris Chan. I believe that's her name. Wait, let me check real quick. Oh yeah, I got it right. It's Chris Chan. I almost said Chris Chandler, like the basketball player, but that's not it. So Chris Chan, I watched it on one of Blair White videos. Like I said, a reminder, I got this term from Blair White, who is a transgender woman. But if you look at her, she looks like a woman. Like, I mean, she is a woman, but I mean, she is a woman and she acts like a woman. And there's no no stereotypical, like, violent, aggressive nature about her or anything like that. And so she makes a point of getting on YouTube and identifying people who are trans predators, like people who will identify as a woman and then go into the women's bathroom and dress like a man and then take pictures of young girls changing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people out there like that. There's people out there in every facet of life. There's people out there in every facet of life that will go into a certain scenario and take advantage of situations, no matter where you are. And so you have this growing population of, there's trans people out there who are, there's transgender, and they're just trying to live their life. They're actually, they're good citizens. But then you have that population out there who's taking full advantage of the situation. Some people are just looking to sue. Some people are just looking for a lawsuit where they purposely go to places to troll. And if you don't follow the law, they can sue the socks off of that place. But then the business is put in between a rock and a hard place because they lose business because people are like, hey, this is not right. We don't feel safe here. And then, there was a woman, I think it was Cubana Angel at the Wii Spa, where she was like, hey, as a woman, I want to feel safe. And then there was people, counter protesting her saying, no, if that's a transgender person, you should not. All right, folks. So with that being said, I really want to get into the nitty gritty and pivot here. We talked about the transgender prisoner who got a woman pregnant, right? But now I want to talk about Chris Chan. This predator is going to jail for raping his own mother who has dementia. And he claims it was consensual and this and that. But if somebody has dementia and it's your own mom, then no, man, player. That's crazy. That's above and beyond. That is all sorts of criminal crimes against humanity, for real. You got sexual assault, you have incest, and you have, that against a person with dementia, like all sorts of stuff, like all the crimes against humanity. And so she is going to jail. She obviously still has man parts, right? But since she identifies as a woman, they're going to allow her in a woman prison. And I will follow up on that story just to see, because they might change it. I don't know. But this person is already off the hook. If you watch some of her videos, she has some serious issues going on. And if she's going to jail for raping a woman, and she is going to be put into a woman's prison. So even though she identifies as a man, this is pretty much the same as taking a man who's in jail for being a rapist and putting him in a woman's prison. And so I know some people will not agree with me. A lot of people will not agree with me. This video may never see the light of day in YouTube. I've been having a lot of issues, like YouTube hitting my videos up saying, hey, and I'm just talking self-defense stuff. I'm just talking self-defense. And the crazy part about it is you got a whole bunch of videos, all these world star videos where you got people fighting, punching each other, men hit back series where like it shows like women and men getting into altercations and men just hauling off and just knocking women out. And those videos are allowed. And then you got TikTok girls doing all sorts of stuff, all exposed, doing the busted challenge and all that stuff, man. And my videos get docked when I talk that self-defense talk. It's 9 o'clock at night and somebody is cutting grass. So that's what you just heard. But it's all good. I wouldn't mind, but I'm making a YouTube video right now. So let me get back to it, man. Let me get back, because I get off track sometimes, man. So there's so many problems with, letting this person into a female prison. You're giving no protection to these women. And the reason why I bring it up, because you might say, oh, that's only one man, but this is a growing trend in the prison systems. And so what could be the solution for it? One is to put that person in a male prison. So, this doesn't make any sense. You cannot make it make sense for me. You can take one of the smartest politicians. You can take one of the most humane, or whatever you want to call the person, emotionally intelligent person, and try to explain this to me. But whenever you bring new-ish into the equation, like this is some new stuff. It's like, maybe 10, 15 years old, or, maybe 5 years old, where they said, hey, identify as this, so you're going to put me as that. Because here's the thing. If you're, like, let's say if you're a criminal, right? And I'm not calling transgender people criminals or anything like that. But if you're a criminal, You commit a crime. You go in and they say, hey, did you do it? And you say, no, I didn't. Then they put you in jail based off of evidence, not what you say. This person used her male parts to rape another woman. And she identifies as a woman. But she was able to rape somebody with male parts. But since she said, they put her in a woman's prison, you know. And like I said, man, I support transgender people trying to live their life. But in cases like these, you have to use common sense. You have to use common sense. There's another story. That I saw where they are starting to give female prisoners contraceptive, like condoms, and Plan B. Why in the world should that be necessary? Why in the world are you passing out condoms in a female prison? It's a female prison. So why? For the prison guards? I mean, no. It's for, and I'm not saying it's for, they're not saying it out loud, but it can't be for the prison guards, because I know it's against the law for them to have sex with prisoners, even though it's probably happened before, right? But so why? Basically telling these girls, hey, you're on your own, you have no protection against this. And the kicker is a lot of women, and I don't know the percentage, so don't ask, but there's a lot of women that's in prison who are victims. They are already victims of sexual assault. And if you're a victim of sexual assault, then you're more likely to become a victim again. So this is a growing trend. It's happening everywhere. It's happening in women's bathrooms. It's happening at the gym, where some women will identify as a woman, go into the gym dressed as a man, and talk to women, young girls, and purposely take pictures and take selfies with the women in the bathroom. And those are trolls. You know, I'm not talking about transgender as a whole. I'm talking about this small percentage of predators that's milking the system and taking advantage of the system. And we have to get some more common sense out here. So this is not, my self-defense channel is not all about, doing the moves. How can you fight somebody off and this and that? There's so many issues, because yes, you want to defend yourself. You want to get a weapon. You want to learn how to use your body. But then as a community, as a nation, as a country, we also have to put protections in place to keep people protected. So that's all I got, man. Tell me what you think, man. Make sure, don't forget to like the video, share the video. And, you may not have family members in prison or anything like that. Or you may have a family member in prison, but this is still people, So even though it may not affect you, this is something that's right there that you don't hear about. You don't hear about it in the news. You know what we're hearing about every single day. All right, but we already know about that. But this is the stuff that you're not really hearing about, and it's happening. If it's not happening in a prison, then it's happening in a locker room. And I'm not just talking about trans. I'm talking about trans predators. That small percentage. But anyway, man, that's all I got. I will see you next time.